"You're not coming?" they asked. "I'm going to the park, the car. You go inside," he said, still looking out of the car. He said, "And take out." Then take the car to the parking area, but didn't step out of the car and rested head on the steering wheel and took deep breaths. "This boy will kill me," he whispered to himself and smiled while shaking his head. Stepping out of the car, he felt his heart was happy as the new rising fluid was making him feel beautiful around. As he reached, he saw this still standing on the hall and the door waiting for him. "Why didn't you go inside?" he asked, going closer to him. "I was waiting for you," they replied, taking a step with him. "Or if I didn't come?" he asked and opened the door. "Still, I wait. Where do you come?" he said. And both entered together, and they moved. Both were parents in their married but lost in each other thought. Smile was not leaving their lips. "Taehyung," he whispered his name while closing his eyes. "Jungkook." They took his name and closed his eyes with a smile. Marriage was over. Today they all were calling in the hall as their father wanted to talk to them. Everyone was gathered, and they looked at the kids. They were just happy how much the kids love each other. And finally all brothers were together. "We have decided something," Mr. John said. "I hope you all accept what we thought," Mr. Kim said, and looked at his son, Jungkook, whose heart was increasing, sensing something was wrong. "We have fixed your engagement with each other." Again said, but all the boys and girls started looking, other confused, and some were scared of losing their love, or decide was taken by were not aware. They were just playing with their happiness. "You would be thinking how," Mr. John said, and took the cup of coffee. "Let me tell you, my cute grandchild, your grandma took part. I fixed Yoongi and Jimin's engagement," she said, and Yoongi eyed her with happiness. "You both happy?" she asked, and Yoongi ran to grandma and hugged her. "Thank you so much," whispering in her ear. He kissed grandma, and she smiled. "Okay, bless you, son." She gave the blessing, and we fixed Jungkook engagement with Stop. While looking at his son, his heart was beating down. As did so, he crossed his eyes and waited for hear the name. "With our cute you," his father answered, and Jungkook and they were flooded, their feet on the shock news they heard. You turned to see Jeho, whose eyes and face were darker in shock. She still felt dying at the moment. "Mr. Kim, and our Taehyung would be Kai bride," Mr. Kim said, and blasted a bomb for all 4 lives. All looked at their parents' shock or lost for them to speak. "Jungkook, you're happy," his father caught and asked him. "I know. I can never take a wrong decision about my son," he said, holding Jungkook's shoulder, and he lost it. He hugged his father and closed his eyes to stop his tear from coming out. Clubbed that tears down. He just kept hugging his father tightly. "I'm happy, Dad." His word broke the 3 hearts that waiting for the words. And Taehyung and you ran to their room, all smiling, thinking they were feeling shy. But truly, they were just broke down from inside. Jimin was shocked when he heard this. He was witness of Taehyung and Jungkook's love for each other. Jungkook left for there, and so did Jeho. Both brothers were running for each other, and for the pain they were feeling in their heart for Taehyung. He was roaming here and there in the hall, restless. Countless tears were falling down for his cheeks. Why? Why did he say anything? He asked, and the same question to himself again and again. "Doesn't he love me?" he asked, holding his hair in pain and his fist. I, I can't do this, they said and ran out of the room. His tears were falling down his cheeks, and they didn't care if anyone see him or not, but his feet were moving toward his room. They didn't care if anyone see him in his room at midnight. They just wanted his answer. He wanted to feel alive, and for that, he wanted to hear what he was hiding. Without any knock, he opened the door and stepped in. Jungkook was standing near the balcony. Turned on the voice. He was shocked to see they there. Both were stuck on their places, while their eyes were telling that the story of their hearts. Tears were rushing down on their cheeks. So, you're happy about the engagement? They asked, taking a step closer to him. He turned to the other side to hide from his eyes. He wiped the tears, but they was not going to let him accept so easily. They wanted answer. Holding his arm, they turned toward him, making him face him. Tell me, you're happy? They asked again. I'm happy, he said, controlling his pain that rise in his heart. Really? They asked, and this time he controlled himself fully. And look at him. Yes, I'm happy because you is a nice girl, he said, didn't let his voice crack, and keep him strong in front of they. Why are you telling lie? Why? They said, and look in his heart taking eyes. Why would I lie? And what are you doing here? He asked him. They kept looking at him who was lying, but more, it was breaking his heart into pieces. You don't know what I am doing here. I want to know what you are not saying. They said, and he laughed, only to make fun of himself. You're right. I don't have anything to say. You can go, and by the way, congrats on your engagement. He said, while walking toward the wardrobe, tried to save himself from the eyes, which was hurting him more, with a tear. I love you. He turned to Tae, shocked, the smile on the word he heard. He feels so lighted and stress-free as they spill those words out. They look up at him who was standing in front of him, shocked and stunned. They walk to him. I love you from the day you called my name in the mall, and I love you from the day when you took me in your arm and I saw that in your eyes, and the scenes when you took deep in my eyes after for coffee, since the day when you kept sitting with me when I got injured, and since when you held me on the stair. I love you since every moment I spent with you. The life seems incomplete without you. Jungkook, they were saying with every step closer to him. The tears streamed down from his cheek. He was just shocked. His every word made his heart happy, but he stayed quiet. They didn't know what his words were doing to him. His heart started beating more, and now the thought of him, those words, would be enough for him to live. He how much he wanted to say, but stop himself. You should say all this as you're going to marry Kai, he said, making this smile. I'm not going to marry him, they said, and stop in front of him. I want to hear that. You and I. Don't. I don't. Before they could complain, he interrupted him, lying to me. Or to yourself, they asked, but he turned to look his sleeping shirt out. Jungkook. They called him, and he felt thousands of lights were turned around him. He turned there whose eyes were fixed on him. You know, they was waiting for the word, but he can't say it. I don't know what are you talking about. You can leave, he said, hardly control his heart, pulling him back to make him face him. They keep holding his arm.